Somewhere inside your body, a stranger is hiding. Not a person you know, but a genetic signature from a species we barely understand. Scientists call them Denisovans, a human relative discovered not from skeletons, but from a single finger bone found deep inside a frozen Siberian cave. That tiny bone contained enough DNA to prove something impossible. An entire unknown branch of humanity had existed, thrived, and vanished without leaving a face behind. No skull, no full skeleton, just fragments. Yet their DNA still lives inside millions of people walking the earth today. Tibetans carry it. Islanders across Papua New Guinea carry it. Somehow, a species we cannot even picture shaped modern human survival. How does a population leave no statues, no cities, no art, yet leave a permanent fingerprint inside living human genomes? Why do their genes still help people survive high altitudes, thin air, and diseases thousands of years after they disappeared? Scientists were stunned when the numbers first appeared on their screens inside quiet genetics laboratories far from any cave. A percentage they didn't expect. A signal from something ancient, buried, and completely unaccounted for in the human family tree. This wasn't supposed to exist. Modern humans were expected to trace back cleanly to Africa, then spread outward alone. Instead, the DNA told a messier, stranger story of ancient humans meeting other humans who were not quite like us. Meeting, and in some cases, mixing. Leaving behind evidence hidden not in monuments, but inside our own chromosomes. Imagine standing inside that Siberian cave, wind howling outside, snow piling against stone walls untouched for tens of thousands of years. Somewhere in that darkness, another kind of human once slept, hunted, and survived winters that would kill most people today. We don't know what they looked like. We don't know their language, their beliefs, or how they saw the world. And yet, right now, their biological instructions are quietly running inside real, living human bodies across multiple continents. This is not science fiction. This is one of the strangest confirmed discoveries in modern human genetic history. A hidden population, defined almost entirely by fragments, somehow left a permanent legacy inside our shared human genome. The question researchers keep returning to is unsettling. If we missed an entire human lineage this significant, what else did we miss? How many other ghost populations vanished so completely that only a single bone fragment could ever reveal their existence? And why, of all things, would evolution preserve genetic gifts from a species science can barely reconstruct or imagine? To understand how this mystery began, we have to travel back long before laboratories, long before DNA sequencing existed at all. We have to return to ancient landscapes, frozen valleys, and early human journeys that quietly set this entire mystery in motion. Around 50,000 years ago, human history was far messier than most textbooks ever admit to readers. Different human species didn't just exist separately. They crossed paths, shared territory, and sometimes shared something far more intimate. Siberia's Altai Mountains were one such crossing point, a brutal landscape of stone, snow, and ancient river valleys. Inside Denisova Cave, layers of dust quietly preserved evidence of multiple human populations living across staggeringly different time periods. Neanderthals passed through these chambers, modern humans passed through later, and something else entirely once called this cave home. In 2010, researchers extracted DNA from a tiny finger bone belonging to a young girl who lived tens of thousands of years ago. What they found didn't match modern humans. It didn't match Neanderthals either. It matched nothing in existing scientific records. This was an entirely new branch of humanity, later named Denisovans, known almost entirely through fragments instead of skeletons. A single finger bone, a few teeth, a jawbone found later in Tibet, thousands of kilometers from that original cave. From these fragments alone, scientists reconstructed evidence of a population that once stretched across vast regions of ancient Asia. Imagine early modern humans migrating out of Africa, moving through unfamiliar valleys, encountering other humans who looked slightly different. These weren't monsters or myths. They were relatives, capable of surviving harsh climates that would challenge modern human bodies. Over generations, migration routes overlapped. Different populations met near rivers, caves, and resource-rich valleys across ancient Eurasia. Some encounters likely involved conflict. Others, evidence suggests, involved something far more significant for human genetic history: interbreeding. Real biological mixing between modern humans and Denisovans, leaving permanent genetic traces inside future generations. This wasn't a single isolated event. Evidence suggests multiple waves of contact across different regions and different time periods. Populations migrating into Southeast Asia and Oceania appear to carry the strongest Denisovan genetic signatures found anywhere today. Meanwhile, Denisovans themselves eventually vanished, leaving no cities, no artwork, no clear cultural record beyond scattered bone fragments. Historians and archaeologists still debate exactly how widespread this population truly was across the ancient Asian continent. Some believe Denisovans occupied vast territories. Others argue evidence remains too limited to confirm their true geographic range. What remains undisputed is simpler, yet far stranger. Their DNA survived, even though their physical presence completely disappeared. Every fragment discovered afterward only deepened the mystery instead of resolving it for the scientists studying it. Why would a population this genetically influential leave almost no physical trace across such an enormous ancient landscape? That unanswered question pushed researchers toward laboratories, forcing them to search for answers hidden inside modern human genomes. Modern genetics didn't just confirm Denisovans existed. It revealed something far stranger hiding inside living human populations today. Researchers sequencing genomes across Asia and Oceania noticed unusual segments of DNA that didn't match typical human ancestry patterns. These segments were labeled archaic, meaning they came from an ancient, non-modern human source buried deep in our past. When compared against the original Denisovan genome, the match was undeniable. Living humans still carried their ancient genetic signature. Populations in Papua New Guinea showed some of the highest levels, with Denisovan ancestry reaching several percent of their genome. Tibetans showed something even more remarkable. A specific Denisovan gene appeared to help their bodies survive extreme high altitude. This gene, known as EPAS1, helps regulate oxygen levels in blood, allowing survival in thin mountain air most humans struggle with. Researchers believe modern humans acquired this beneficial gene through ancient interbreeding. Then evolution preserved it because it aided survival. This is not speculation without evidence. Genetic comparisons consistently show this specific variant tracing directly back to Denisovan ancestry. Other studies suggest Denisovan inherited genes may influence immune system responses, helping certain populations resist specific regional diseases more effectively. Scientists caution that not every genetic connection is fully understood yet, and research into these effects continues actively today. Some proposed links remain under investigation, meaning current findings represent strong evidence rather than absolute, unquestionable final conclusions. Still, one pattern keeps repeating across independent studies conducted by different research teams using different genetic sequencing methods. Ancient interbreeding wasn't rare or accidental. It left measurable, functional fingerprints still shaping human biology many thousands of years later. This raises a deeper question. If one hidden population left this much impact, how many others remain undiscovered? Genetic data has already hinted at additional unknown ancient populations, sometimes called ghost lineages, detected only through statistical DNA patterns. These ghost populations left no bones, no caves, no artifacts, only faint mathematical echoes hidden inside modern human genomes. Researchers describe this as reading a book with missing pages, reconstructing history from fragments rather than a complete narrative. Every new genome sequenced adds another clue, yet also raises new questions researchers hadn't previously considered asking. The story of human origins keeps shifting from a single clean lineage towards something far more tangled and interconnected. Modern science increasingly suggests humanity's past involved multiple populations meeting, mixing, and quietly merging across thousands of generations. This isn't a story of separate races. It's a story of overlapping human branches, sharing one deeply connected genetic history. And that shift in understanding leads toward an even larger question about what this discovery truly means for humanity today. Every discovery about Denisovans eventually leads back to one simple, powerful truth about human identity itself. We are not the product of one clean lineage. We are the product of overlapping, interconnected human populations merging repeatedly. The DNA inside you today may carry fragments from a species science still struggles to fully understand or reconstruct. This isn't a flaw in human history. It's evidence of resilience, adaptation, and survival across some of Earth's harshest environments. Ancient interbreeding wasn't a footnote. It was a survival strategy that shaped how certain populations adapted to extreme conditions. The Tibetan ability to breathe easily at high altitude exists because of genes borrowed from a vanished ancient relative. Immune adaptations found in parts of Asia and Oceania may trace back to the very same ancient genetic exchange. This means Denisovans never truly disappeared. They live on quietly, inside genomes, shaping biology thousands of generations later. Their story challenges the outdated idea that human history moved in a single straight line from Africa outward. Instead, history moved like overlapping rivers, different populations meeting, mixing, separating, and merging again across enormous stretches of time. Modern genetic research continues rewriting this story, revealing ghost populations we haven't even identified through physical remains yet. Each new genome sequenced adds another layer, suggesting our understanding of ancient humanity remains far from complete today. Scientists now believe more undiscovered ancient populations may still be hidden within the genetic code of living humans. This means the Denisovan story isn't an isolated mystery. It may be one thread inside a much larger pattern. What once seemed like a simple family tree now resembles a complex, branching network of ancient human connections. This discovery forces us to reconsider what truly defines human identity beyond appearance, geography, or traditional historical assumptions. Underneath every surface difference lies a shared, deeply tangled genetic inheritance, connecting distant populations across thousands of years. The Denisovans remind us that history isn't always written in monuments or artifacts left behind for us to find. Sometimes, history is written directly into biology, quietly passed forward until modern science finally learns how to read it. Their story is a reminder that humanity's past is far stranger, richer, and more interconnected than most people ever imagined. And perhaps the most powerful lesson is this. We are all walking archives of ancient, forgotten human history. If this hidden chapter of human history fascinated you, imagine how many more remain buried, waiting to be discovered. Subscribe, stay curious, and join us as we continue uncovering the hidden genetic mysteries still shaping who we are.